Atlanta Braves. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you on this Friday night. Dodgers and Braves, Game 2 of a 4-game series. Braves winning last night. That extends their winning streak to 9 straight. You have to go back to the year 2000 when they won 15 in a row. The Dodgers had their modest 4-game winning streak go down the drain. A battle of K's tonight. Kawakami on the mound for Atlanta, Kershaw for the Dodgers. And as far as the Dodgers and the Braves are concerned, Atlanta leads Philadelphia by 3. The Dodgers trail San Diego by 1.5 games, and Philadelphia is playing San Diego. So we'll have a lot going on, and we'll get to the ball game right after this.
Dodgers baseball here on Prime Ticket, taking on the Atlanta Braves. Let's get to our Lexus pursuing perfection. For that, Clayton Kershaw. I tell you what, if you're Joe Torre or Rick Honeycutt, what do you tell them other than just go out there and do what you're doing?
Keep doing the same stuff you've been doing. He's been outstanding. In his last loss, that was against the Cubs in Chicago. He gave up 1 run. Unfortunately, the Dodgers didn't score any runs.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you do if your team's not going to score your runs, and that's got to change.
Yeah, that game was back on the 25th of May. So what are the Dodgers going to have to do to get him? They got to get the bats going. What's the key for you?
I think they just have to have better at-bats. They've been giving away at-bats, in my opinion, lately. They work counts better than they have been. They've been swinging at bad pitches. They're a better collective hitting team than that. Over the last 10 or 12 games, they've hit right around 200. That's not what they do.
It's always a good test. You're taking on the Braves, best team in baseball right now. They're hot. They've won 9 in a row. So Clayton Kershaw's got his work cut out for him, but he's a good one. And we look forward to the matchup coming up on Prime Ticket. Vince Scully has the call. That is next.
Dodger Baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by your Southern California Hyundai dealers. Want more MPG? Hyundai has it. By Shakey's. This player has the highest lifetime batting average of .367. Go to Shakey's.com/trivia. By AT&T. TV, high-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit att.com or call 1-800-PIC-ATT for details. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday night to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Game 2 of the 4-game series between the Dodgers and the red-hot Atlanta Braves as they come storming into Dodger Stadium. For the Dodgers, having had a 4-game winning streak snapped last night, they're trying to bounce back. They're also possibly having a chance to pick up a game on the San Diego Padres. They're in the 9th inning of the Padres, and the Phillies are leading 3-2. It was Holiday who got them that close, and then Brad Lidge is trying to close out that game. So as soon as we get a final score, we'll pass it along to you. However, right now, business as usual, and we'll take a look at the Braves lineup. Martin Prado leading off at second base, and Omar Infante at third. Jason Hayward, the rookie, in right field. Troy Gloss having a big 2 months at first base. Yunel Escobar, the shortstop. Melky Cabrera will be in left field. Former Dodger David Ross behind the plate. Nate McLouth in center. And Kenshin Kawakami on the mound for the Braves. On the mound for the Dodgers, 22-year-old Clayton Kershaw, 5-3 with the lead. As far as Atlanta is concerned, last year in August, he made a start against the Braves. He was brilliant. Allowed just 2 hits, struck out 10 in 7 scoreless innings. The game went extra innings, and the Dodgers lost 2-1. So we'll see Clayton starting afresh against Bobby Cox's crew. The Braves come in here having won 9 straight, and you have to go back a ways to realize what they've done. Since the 18th of May, when they were 6.5 games behind Philadelphia in last place, they went on a tear. They went 14-2, and right now they're in first place 3 games in front of Philadelphia. And by the way, Philadelphia has just beaten San Diego 3-2. So the Braves try to win to stay ahead, and the Dodgers try to win to get much closer. So Kershaw taking a little walk around the mound as the Dodgers work the ball around the infield. And it will be Martin Prado to start it off. Prado, out of Venezuela, was originally signed by the Braves in 2001. He has really found himself atop the heap. Few things about Prado. He leads the National League, hitting .323. He leads in hits and multi-hit games. He has just been a one-man gang. And he checks in now. And the first pitch to him, Prado, right-hand batter, takes a strike. And the count 0-1. Last night he doubled in the first inning and scored before the chairs were warm. The Martin waiting. Kershaw ready and comes back. Fastball foul back. 0-2 the count. It's a brilliant sunshiny time of day, so the lights have not taken effect at all. It is 72 very comfortable degrees. One note about Clayton Kershaw, he has not had a 1-2-3 first inning this year. Here's the strike 2 pitch on the way. Slow curveball for strike 3 call. So Prado saw a couple of fastballs. The curveball hangs him up. 1 away. Here are the Dodgers with the leather behind Kershaw. Ramirez, Kemp, and Ethier in the outfield. The infield, Jamie Carroll for Casey Blake. Then for Paul, Belliard, and Loney. And it's Kershaw and Martin as the battery. And Omar Infante checking in. Infante, right-hand hitting third baseman, pops the first pitch up into shallow right field. Belliard goes out, but Ethier has an easier play, and Andre makes the catch. So for a fellow who has not had a 1-2-3 first inning in all 9 of his previous starts, he's gotten the first 2, and now here is Jason Hayward. Big fella, 6'4", 220. He'll be 21 the middle of August out of McDonough, Georgia. Well brought up. Mom and dad both graduated from Dartmouth. And Jason waiting as Kershaw's fastball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. His mom is a quality control analyst, and his dad was an engineering major. Strike one pitch. Jason looks at a slow curveball for strike two. 0-2 the count. So Jason just starting out what should be a brilliant career, hitting .282, and the strike two pitch on the way. Swung on, missed by Martin, who goes back to get it, throws and pulls Loney off the bag. So Russell Martin having trouble, and it's happened again. He strikes out the hitter, and still Kershaw doesn't have a 1-2-3 inning, and so it goes. It will be a strikeout, but it will also be a pass ball charged against Martin. And then the hurried throw by Martin pulling Loney off the bag. So that will bring up Troy Gloss, who has a 9-game hitting streak, the pride of UCLA in Southern California. Troy, the National League Player of the Month. Last night he checked in with a single to drive in a run, and then he led off an inning with a home run. The big Troy, 10 home runs, 42 runs batted in, and the pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Gloss hitting .283, spent a career at third base, and a great career it has been. But then when the Braves signed him, they didn't ask him. They just gave him a first baseman's mitt, and that's it. 0-1 the count to Troy Gloss. The strike one pitch is instead a throw to first. Hayward has stolen 4, but he has been caught 3 times. And of course, every time he gets on base against a new starting pitcher, it's an adventure. 0-1 the count. 2 down, first inning, no score. Kershaw very deliberate, back to Gloss, swung on and missed, a big long swing, and the count 0-2. Troy very impressive looking, 6'5", 240. Born in Tarzana, lives in Carlsbad. His extra base hit percentage in all of his career hits makes him 10th highest in Major League history. So the big guy waits. Kershaw set, looks over at Hayward again, and decides to pay him a visit. And he's back on the bag. For Gloss, with 10 home runs, 42 RBIs, trying to move Hayward around. Troy is one of 10 active players with at least 6 seasons of 25 home runs and 80 walks. So 0-2 the count. Gloss will be 34 in August, waves at a slow curve, strikes out, and Kershaw winds up striking out the side, but he still didn't get a 1-2-3 inning. And at the end of half an inning, no score. strikes out the side. He was impossible to hit, and if you ask Russell Martin, it was almost impossible to catch. Here's the Dodger lineup going into the first. It'll be Rafael Furcal, followed by Matt Kemp, and then Andre Ethier in right field, followed by Manny Ramirez and James Loney. Ronnie Belliard will play second base. Russell Martin behind the plate. Jamie Carroll will take over at third in the absence of Casey Blake, whose back is still bothering him, and Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound for the Braves, Kenshin Kawakami. He's out of Tokushima in Japan. He pitched over there for the Chunichi Dragons. He was an all-star. In fact, he was not only an all-star and an MVP, he also won the Sawamura Award, which is the Japanese equivalent of the Cy Young Award. And he spent about 11 years with the Dragons. He's a two-time Olympian, and his first pitch to Rafael Furcal is a strike. Rafael, as he checks in at the plate, hitting .280 with 10 runs batted in. Rafael, a much better hitter left-handed than right, and he takes off speed, and that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Furcal is hitting .309 from this side of the plate. Kawakami is 5'10", 200-pounder. Last night, Chris Medlin at 5'10" and 170 really gave the Dodgers a bad time. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Kawakami's fastball is fouled away, and 1-1 the count. Chris Medlin from Artesia had a brilliant night last night. Boy, he was impressive, and we should have known because we had gotten word long before we saw him that he was something special. So he was special last night. No walks, strikes all the time, and a great changeup. 1-2 the count to Rafael Furcal. Kawakami deals, and he's low, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Coming into the game, Kawakami with a record of 0-7. But it should be pointed out, the club has won 3 of the last 4 games he has started, even though he hasn't gotten the win. His 2-2 pitch on the way, and Rafael looks, and that's low. Ball 3, 3-2. In the 7 losses, as Matt Kemp waits on deck, in the 7 losses suffered by Kawakami, the Braves have scored a total of 15 runs. His 3-2 pitch is low, and Rafael is aboard with a walk. So Kawakami walks the leadoff man. Matt Kemp will be coming up. Kawakami's numbers: 31 walks, 42 strikeouts, so he's fighting it a little bit. That's not a good ratio. And here's Matt Kemp hitting .277 with 11 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Kawakami waiting for Matt to check in at the plate. Now right-hander set, looks over at Furcal, and the pitch to Matt in for a strike, and the count 0-1. For Kawakami, he's allowed 8 home runs, and interesting, 7 of the 8 home runs have been hit on the road. Kawakami straightens up, looks over his left shoulder at Furcal, throws over there, and Rafael jumps back on the bag. Furcal has stolen 8 out of 9, although he hadn't done any running of late, coming back off that leg injury. Kawakami at the belt, another check. There goes Furcal on a hit-and-run base hit into right center. Over to get the ball is McLeod. They will hold up Furcal at third on a long single by Matt Kemp. So the Dodgers are in business. First and third, nobody out. But take a look at the Braves defensively with Melky Cabrera along with McLeod and Hayward, Infante, Escobar, Prado, and Glaus on the infield, and the battery of Kawakami and David Ross, the former Dodger. So first and third, nobody out, and here is Andre Ethier. Ethier last night had a double and a single, 2 for 4, double to left, single to right. Andre coming back now for just a couple of games. Even though his average has gone down to 364, he's been hitting the ball very well. Kawakami delivers, and it is swung on and driven to right. Hayward to the track in front of the wall, reaches up to make the catch. Furcall tags and scores. Kemp holds at first, and the Dodgers have jumped out in front to a 1-0 lead. So Ethier, a long fly ball to right, and he picks up Furcall. So now Manny Ramirez coming up with a runner at first, and the Dodgers out in front 1-0. Manny Ramirez has been struggling. There's really no other word to describe it. Since he returned from the DL May 8th, he's hitting .188. So that has brought a big batting average down to .273. Manny with 4 home runs, 25 runs batted in. There goes Kemp. A hurry throw is not in time. In fact, it kicks away into shallow left field. David Ross had to hurry because Kemp and Furcall both had good jumps. It was a pitch in. The hurry throw almost hit Kemp. In fact, it very well did. He landed on the ball. It was under his chest, and then it rolled out into left field. So for Matt Kemp, a stolen base, and no doubt about it, the word is out. You can run on Kawakami. It is no accident. Furcall walks and immediately takes off. Now Kemp steals. 0-1 the count to Manny Ramirez. 1-0 Dodgers. We're just starting. Kawakami ready. Back he comes. Little breaking ball off the plate. 1-1. Interesting tie-in with Kenshin Kawakami. His agent is the former general manager of the Dodgers, and that would be Dan Evans. Wherever Dan might be, perhaps in the crowd tonight, we certainly wish him well. So Kawakami gives up a run, looks in to get a sign. 1-1 to Manny Ramirez. And Manny, tired of waiting, and backs out. The word on Kawakami, fastball, not too fast, high about 92. Big slow curveball. He has a slider and a splitter. The 1-1 pitch on the way is foul back. 1-2 to Manny. Based on last year, well, you find out that left-handers hit .252 and 6 home runs against him. Right-handers hit .268 with 9 home runs against him. As far as a comebacker, well, at least in Japan, he was a 3-time Gold Glove winner. So they have an extra infielder right there in the middle of the game. Matt Kemp at second, 1 out, 1-0 Dodgers. And the pitch to Manny Ramirez. Kawakami very interested in Kemp. Now to the plate, and it's pulled fair, back of third. Infante is up with it and throws out Manny. So Kemp unable to move. And with 2 down, the left-hand hitting James Loney coming
for the Dodgers, first baseman, number 7, James.
For Ramirez, the struggle continues. Dodgers are hoping he might hit a long fly ball. Loney now checks in with 32 runs batted in, 4 home runs, and a .286 batting average. James had a couple of base hits last night, a single to left and a single off the glove of Omar Infante, so he was going the other way against Medlin. Game 3 tomorrow night, Tommy Hanson and Chad Billingsley. Kawakami at the belt, looks back at Kemp, now works Loney and misses outside, ball 1-1-0. The plate umpire is the veteran Jerry Davis, over 26 years in the major leagues, from St. Louis, but now lives in Wisconsin. The 1-0 pitch on the way. James has a look, and that's low. 2-0 the count. If he joined us late for a call walk, Kemp singled him to third. Ethier's long fly ball picked him up. So Andre picks up the RBI to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. It was his 39th. The 2-0 pitch in at the knuckles, ball 3, and Rafael Belliard waiting on deck. The Dodgers trying to shake themselves. You know how well they've done against the West. 18-5, and they've won 13 out of 15. They're now going to put Loney aboard since he wouldn't go fishing. And they'll concentrate on Belliard. But the Dodgers are really having trouble against the Eastern Division. They have played the East 10 games, and they have lost 8 of the 10. Trying to catch San Diego. How's San Diego doing against the East? They have played 13 games, and the Padres are 7-6. So here's Belliard hitting .269 with a home run, 10 runs batted in. Kawakami with 2 on, 2 out, and a run in, and he misses inside, ball 1. Belliard appeared as a pinch hitter last night, grounded a single to right to drive in a run. He appeared earlier and started in the final game against the D-backs. The 1-0 pitch up and in, ball 2. The Kawakami, as we said, he has now walked 30 some odd, 32, and he has struck out 42. Dodgers lead 1-0 in the first inning. Kemp at second, Loney at first, and Belliard takes a strike, and the count 2-1. Kenshin Kawakami trying to get Ronnie Belliard and end the first inning. Right-hander straightens up, and his 2-1 pitch coming up. Right-hander deals, and it's hit foul off to the right out of play. Kawakami in Japan was a very successful pitcher, and it goes all the way back when he was in college. He always had a couple of Greg Maddux Braves t-shirts, and he watched videotapes of Greg. He wanted so much to pitch like him, but he said he realized that was impossible. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Ronnie Belliard. Breaking ball off the plate, ball 3. 3-2. Kawakami also helped Japan in the International Cup. He was the winning pitcher back in 1997. They beat Cuba, and it was the first time Cuba had lost in 15 years. So they'll be going on the pitch, Kemp and Loney. Kawakami ready. There go the runners. Fastball is hit into deep left center field. That one is going to the gap and bounce over the wall. So 1 run will score, but they'll send Loney back to third on the ground rule double. So instead of 3-0, it is 2-0. And boy, Belliard gave that 3-2 fastball a ride. Because it's the old story in the big leagues especially. They talk about the hitters sitting on a pitch. And after a couple of walks, 3-2, Belliard was sitting on the fastball, and he really jumped all over it. So Belliard with a ground rule double to left center. Loney must stop at third. Kemp brings in the run. And the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead in the first inning. And the batter is Russell Martin, and you can bet he is smarting from the last 10 innings. Struck out 3 times last night, passed ball in the top of the first inning tonight, and Martin takes slow curveball in for a strike, 0-1. Martin hitting .243, 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Loney at third, Belliard at second, 2 out. Strike 1 pitch to Martin is a little roller foul outside of third, 0-2. Russell is doing all of his good hitting on the road. One of those things you find out about ball players, how they do it. He's hitting .284 in road games and .204 here at Dodger Stadium. So Martin up there 0-2, trying to pick up a couple of runners. Dodgers lead 2-0. Kawakami at the belt. Right-handed delivers fastball, foul down, and on his knees is Russell Martin as he fouled that thing down on his foot. 0-2 the count. Looking at the replay, and it just did hit the top of his left shoe. But he's okay. It didn't hit the instep or the ankle, so he's right back up and ready. No balls and 2 strikes to Russell Martin. Made the last out last night. Johnny Vestas came in and struck him out on an 0-2 pitch. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball is low, 1-2. That was an interesting moment, not for Martin. Johnny Venters came in inheriting a no ball, 2 strike count because Saito had a hamstring pull. And 1 pitch in the dirt, a slider down and away. Martin swung and missed. It was a 1-pitch save for Johnny Venters. You heard Johnny 1 note. There he is. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up. Kawakami's pitch is low off the plate. So the deuces are wild indeed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 in, 2 on. That's second and third. With Loney listening to Boa. And out there at second base, Ronnie Belliard. Kawakami with first base open. Jamie Carroll is on deck. And the 2-2 pitch to Martin is swung on, and that's a fly ball into left center. Very playable, and Cabrera is there to put it away. However, the Dodgers get 2 runs, 2 hits, couple of walks, and lead 2, and at the end of an inning, lead the Braves 2-0. Quick run, and we head for the second inning. Ronnie Belliard deprived of an extra RBI when that well-hit 3-2 fastball was cranked into the gap and bounced over the wall, but he'll take it. And for the Dodgers, they're not turning back any runs. Escobar, Cabrera, and Ross in that order. Yunel Escobar hitting .224. He has 13 runs batted in, no home runs, but a very, very sharp shortstop. And the first pitch to him, right-hand hitter, and that's a little low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Yunel, born in Havana, Cuba, and deflected. He defected on a 25-foot boat. The 1-0 pitch on the way, whacked into right field for a base hit. So Escobar, a line drive single to right. Clayton Kershaw, remember, struck out the side in the first inning. So Escobar, along with 5 players and 25 others on that 25-foot boat, knowing in his heart when they sailed away from Havana that they might not make it. But they did, and here he is. Now, here is Cabrera, Melky Cabrera. He's from the Dominican. Cabrera hitting .235, 1 home run, 11 runs batted in, swings right through a fastball, and the count 0-1. Cabrera over the last 2 weeks has been red hot. Hit .371, runs well. He has 9 infield singles. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way. Cabrera hits it on the ground to Belliard. He fields high to Furcal, and the throw is late at first. When Belliard threw high, that kind of ruined the tempo for Furcal, and Raphael knows it was a bad feed. But of course, for Belliard, he's moving around so much. 1 minute playing second, then third, then going days as a pinch hitter. But that high throw just ruined Furcal's rhythm completely, and it's just a force play. It allowed that lanky Escobar to get in there. So instead of a double play, it's a force play, and here is David Ross, the former Dodger, a really nice fella, and it was a pleasure knowing him now, but especially his days when he wore the blue. And he swings, doesn't get it, and the count 0-1. David Ross hitting .283 with 11 runs batted in. Doesn't get much of a chance to play, not with Brian McCann. No balls and 1 strike. Back comes Kershaw low. Back in 2006 with Cincinnati, David Ross had 21 home runs. He was third among National League catchers behind Brian McCann's 24 and Mike Piazza's 22. His first home run as a Dodger, it was his first major league home run, came against Arizona in a 19-1 game. He takes low and inside. I'm not sure if you remember back in 2002, the Dodgers not only beat Arizona 19-1, it was a wild game, and usually in a runaway, a position player goes to the mound. Well, going to the mound that night was Mark Grace, their first baseman, and David Ross hit the home run against Grace. Now the 2-1 pitch to David is taken for a strike, and the count 2-2. David is a Georgia boy. He was born in Bainbridge, went to the University of Florida. The Dodgers originally drafted him in the 7th round in 1998. He's 6'2", 235, and he has Cabrera at first with 1 out. The next pitch fouled away, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another thing about David Ross, he came up in 2002, stayed with the Dodgers through 04, then he went to the Pirates and the Padres, then up and down with the Reds. He was with the Reds in 08 and the Red Sox and the Braves. So he's got quite a career. Here's the 2-2 pitch to David Ross. Fastball lifted foul up to the right out of play. If you joined us a little late, the Dodgers lead the Braves 2-0. Furcal walked and Kemp singled into third. Ethier's long fly ball cashed in Furcal with 2 out. Loney walked, and Belliard a ground rule double cashed in Kemp. So 2-0 Dodgers, top of the 2nd inning. The 2-2 pitch on the way to David Ross, and the left-hander Kershaw works it high, ball 3. Belliard over there at second base is having trouble with the infield flies, which is usually a sign of heat. So he's been waving them off. The other infielders appear to be okay, but yeah, there you go again. The dreaded infield fly. So with a full count to David Ross, Cabrera at first. We'll see whether Bobby wants to run him or not. Ross has grounded into 3 double plays. Cabrera has stolen 2 bases. He's not going. And the pitch is popped in the air, foul off first, down the line, and back into the crowd, out of play. Tomorrow night, Tommy Hanson with a record of 5-3, and Chad Billingsley 6-2. And then Sunday afternoon, Tim Hudson with a record of 6-1 against John Eli 3-2. So Eli hunched forward, taking in the action along with Billingsley. 3-2 the count to David Ross. Kershaw ready, and the pitch is inside for ball 4. So Ross wins that battle, and with runners at first and second and 1 out. The batter is Nate McLouth. McLouth, a wonderful center fielder, especially when he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, struggling with the bat, hitting just 179. Nate's out of Michigan. He has 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in, left-hand batter, and takes high, ball 1. For McLeod last night, batting 8th, he had a double, tried to bunt and popped it up. A great diving catch by Russell Martin. 1 away, first and second, and Kawakami, the pitcher, on deck. Now the 1-0 pitch is swung on, popped in the air, back of third, down the line. Couple of dodges with Furcal making the catch. The infield fly rule wasn't called until late, not until Raphael got under it. The third base umpire, DJ Rayburn, making the call. Remember, there's always that tricky little phrase in that rule, a reasonable expectancy. So with Furcal going down the line, not until he looked like he was under it did the infield fly rule be called. And here now is Kawakami. 2 on, 2 out. Second inning, 2-0 Dodgers. Right-hand pitcher, right-hand hitter. Kawakami has 2 hits in 14 at-bats. And the pitch to him, a little low, ball 1. 1-0. Kershaw gave up a single to Escobar. Cabrera hit into a force play. Might have been a double play, but it wasn't. Ross walked. McLeod pops up. And the next pitch is high. 2-0 the count to Kawakami. And Russell Martin going out to talk to young Clayton. Kawakami is 5'10". So he doesn't really give you that big league strike zone. Same for Medlin last night. And Medlin walked and doubled. 2-0 the count. Kenshin Kawakami trying to move some runners along with 2 out and extend the inning. Right hand hitter waits. Kershaw comes to him. Fastball for a strike. 2-1 the count. We're only in the second inning. Of course, you have 2 great managers in this series with Bobby Cox and Joe Torre. And going against each other, you know what their record is? 68-68. The pitch to Kawakami is high, ball 3. 3-1. So Bobby, who has announced his retirement at the end of this year, has won 2,445 games. Joe Torre in the other dugout, 2,277. 3-1 pitches in there. So the count now gives the Braves 1 slight edge in the fact that Cabrera and Ross will be going on the 3-2 pitch. Dodgers lead 2-0. We're in the second inning. Clayton from a stretch looks back at his run at Cabrera. Runners go, and it's missed at the plate. The Kawakami swings and strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw. No runs, a hit, 2 left, and at the end of an inning and a half, 2-0 Dodgers. against Atlanta, bottom of the second inning, and it'll be Jamie Carroll, then Clayton Kershaw, and Rafael Furcal against the right-hander Kenshi Kawakami. Jamie Carroll has been a story all by himself. So-called backup player, has made tremendous contributions, and as far as his numbers here, well, among other things, he should be a crowd favorite. He's hitting .338 here at Dodger Stadium, and against right-hand pitchers, he's hitting .345. So altogether, he has a .300 batting average, playing wherever and playing very well. So Carroll playing third base, and he'll start it off against Kawakami. Joe Torre, 2,277 wins, but of course when it comes to postseason and the World Series, he stands alone. There are the managers, Connie Mack, John McGraw, Tony La Russa, and then you have Bobby and Joe. They both have tremendous respect for each other and very good friends. Jamie Carroll takes a strike, and the count 0-1. And of course, Joe Torre at one time managed the Atlanta Braves. No balls and one strike to Jamie Carroll. Kawakami into the windup. Right-hander's next pitch a little low. 1-1 the count. Telling Bobby Cox about how well Jamie Carroll's been playing, and the reaction was typical. That little so-and-so, he is something special. And compliments from Bobby to Jamie Carroll. Kawakami takes a little walk behind the mound for a minute. 1 ball and 1 strike. Something free, a ball or whatever, down in the right field corner. Jamie out of Evansville, Indiana. Went to the University of Evansville. And the 1-1 pitch swung on and pulled fair. He's done it again. And Jamie is off to the races. He's into second base, turning and holding since he's leading off the inning. Jamie Carroll. Boy, you spell that name in capital letters. Jamie is 5'9", maybe 170, but he hits like he's 6'4". So Carroll a double into the left field corner, and how fortunate were the Dodgers indeed. What a fine play that was for Ned Colletti to get Carroll from Cleveland, so that when Rafael Furcal went down, he had a perfect replacement for him. So now Kershaw, and the Braves certainly look bunt. Dodgers lead 2-0, second inning. Kershaw has 4 sacrifices. He turns to show the bunt, drops it, picked up by Kawakami, throws to third, and they got Carroll. Fine play by Kawakami, no doubt instructed to throw to third by the catcher David Ross. Now that's one easy play for a left-hander, but a right-hander has to do a 360, and Kawakami was in perfect position to make the throw. What the Dodgers would have argued about, Carroll showed the left hand and then pulled it back, but nevertheless Infante stayed with him and got him. It was a truly professional big league trying to attempt to avoid the tag slide, but they got him anyway. So Kershaw at first, good play by Infante, nice effort slide by Carroll, and we have one away. Now the leadoff man Furcal, and he hits one into the gap in right center, and that's going to go to the wall. So here is Kershaw being waved in, and he comes to the plate to score. Going into third base is Furcal, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. So Rafael Furcal makes Kershaw make all those pitchers running in the outfield pay off as he lines one into right center. So Kershaw scores from first, and of course your first thought is, will that take something out of him? Well, that remains to be seen. As Clayton brings it in, 3-0 Dodgers. And the batter now is Matt Kemp. It'll be a double for Furcal, and he takes third on the throw. Run batted in for Rafael, and Kershaw looking for a place to sit down. The infield is up, and here is Kemp. and he takes a strike. 0-1. By the way, the official score says not a double and go to third on the throw. He says triple. All right. The world will no long remember what has transpired here. Double, triple, etc. 0-1 the count to Matt Kemp. Braves are up, and the strike one pitch to Kemp taken off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Carroll doubled, tagged out on the bunt by Kershaw, who then runs for his life and scores on the triple by Furcal. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit for the Braves. Furcal with his 3rd triple of the year. So Kemp waiting, looking for another RBI. Kawakami delivers, and it is lifted into right center. Going to the bag, the tag is Furcal. The catch by McLeod, and he does not have a play. He also didn't have a grip, so he didn't even bother throwing it to the infield. So Matt Kemp, fly ball to center field. That cashes in Furcal. So Rafael, in his leadoff role, has scored twice. Dodgers out 4-0, and Andre Ethier coming up. Remember, too, that San Diego lost. They played the Phillies and Roy Halladay and lost. Matt Latos suffered the defeat. Tough game, 3-2 back there. So the Dodgers have a chance to cut the Padre lead to a half a game. 2 out, bases empty, 2 in. Dodgers lead 4-0. Ethier is scoring fly ball in the first inning and takes a strike. On deck, Manny Ramirez. Andre Ethier, 11 home runs, 39 runs batted in, batting .364, takes off the plate, 1-1. The change up way outside. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers, including 2 doubles and a triple. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and Ethier grounds it into the hole on the right side. Plugging it up is Prado to make the play. So that's the inning. 2 more on the boards for the Dodgers. And at the end of 2, as Kawakami walks off, it's 4-0 Dodgers. Double. The Dodgers came roaring right back with 2 more, and at the end of 2, lead the Braves 4-0. Key base hits by Rafael Furcal, scoring fly ball by Matt Kemp, and the Dodgers in somewhat control. The question now is Clayton Kershaw scoring from first on the triple by Rafael Furcal. Does he have his sea legs or not? Even though he's only 22, we will see. Coming over from third is Jamie Carroll to chat with him for a moment. Meanwhile, Martin Prado, Omar Infante, and then Jason Hayward. Prado struck out in the first inning, but he has been a marvelous leadoff hitter for the Atlanta Braves, hitting .322, and he takes up and in for ball one, 1-0. To repeat what we mentioned earlier, he leads the National League in batting average, hits, and multi-hit games. The 1-0 pitch on the way, Martin holds up on a slow curveball that drops in for a strike. Last night, Prado had a double, 3 ground balls, and a walk. From Venezuela, and the 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-2. For Prado, of course, big role to play third base. Chipper Jones unable to answer the bell, but they certainly haven't given up anything in Chipper's absence with Prado. The 1-2 pitch on the way, a line drive by a diving for call into left center. Up with it is Manny Ramirez holding Prado to a single.
Third baseman, number 4.
Martin Prado, a line drive base hit, and the batter will be Omar Infante. Don't forget, join the Dodgers Tuesday, Jonathan Broxton Bobblehead Night, presented by Kaiser Permanente. First 50,000 fans to see the Dodgers face the Cardinals take home their very own Little Big John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. So Prado, a line drive single, and here's Infante, who flied to right field in the first inning. Kershaw ready, and the pitch foul back by Infante. 0-1 the count. So Infante, a right-hand batter, hitting .299. He has a home run, 11 runs batted in. He's from Venezuela, from Puerto La Cruz. Third year with the Braves. 0-1 the count. Kershaw back trying to bend the curveball, but it stayed up. 1-1 the count. Infante, among other things, a very tough hitter with 2 out. And a particularly tough hitter with 2 out and a runner in scoring position. He's hitting .462 under those circumstances. He lays off a pitch low and inside. That runs the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Infante is an even 6'1", 80. He'll be 29 the day after Christmas. That's tough. You don't usually get birthday presents when you're born the day after Christmas. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Omar. Kershaw comes back, fastball low. Now he breezed through the first inning, striking out the side, made only 10 pitches. Then he appeared to labor in the second inning when he made 21. And now he's working hard. The base hit to Prado and a 3-1 count to Infante, who flied to right. Clayton ready, looks at Prado, 3-1 pitch, fouled away, and that might have been ball 4. Might have been. The Braves are a very patient ball club. Let's take a look at that. Well, it was high, and it might have been away. I was going to say they're number 1 in walks. They have 247 walks. That's about 30% higher than the National League average. Let's see with Prado, 3-2. He doesn't go, and the pitch is low, and Kershaw's in some trouble. The first and second, nobody out, and Jason Hayward coming up. So now you're talking about 2 fellas who figure to spend, at least 10 years battling each other 60 feet 6 inches apart. I mean, Hayward, 20 years old, Kershaw, 22, both youngsters hoping to really burst upon the scene. They have him labored, certainly as a wonderkind, hitting .281 with 10 home runs, and a slow breaking ball is off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Hayward came into the game first in the league in rate of RBIs to at-bats. Has an RBI about every 4 at bats. Left-hand hitter swings, doesn't get it, and the count 1-1. Another thing about the Braves, not only do they get a lot of walks first, they're also first in sacrifices, and their strikeout to walk ratio is best in the league. So they're tough. 1-1 pitch is taken inside under the hands. Fastball. 2-1 to Jason Hayward. Mom and Dad went to school at Dartmouth. 6'4". He gives you quite a strike zone, but he does shorten up because he bends at the knees. 2-1 the count. Kershaw comes back, swung on and missed. 2-2. Fastball, although it wasn't his best fastball by any means. And Hayward out in front of it. Hayward coiled and at the ready. Kershaw out of a stretch. And the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. The Hayward strikes out a second time. He's going to school here. He was 0 for 3 last night, and he's 0 for 2 with strikeouts tonight. Just ran a fastball by him, nothing fancy. That would be 5 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw, who has 13 as a career high, and he did that, remember, against the Giants. So Jason strikes out, but now here is the veteran. So you go from a 20-year-old kid to a grizzled veteran, if you can use that expression. They really are so young anyway. And the pitch to Gloss, curveball low, ball 1. Grizzled at 34. Yeah, that's all he is. 314 in his career. With the Cardinals 2 years ago, he had 27. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way to Troy. 2 on, 1 out. The next pitch misses. So Gloss with the count his way 2-0 on a check swing. Troy's mom ran an air freight delivery service, and that meant some big 18-wheelers in the driveway. The 2-0 pitch, and Troy swings right through it. 2-1. He said they had 20-foot trucks in the driveway, and he was thrilled as a little guy. He could climb up into the cab and dream. And then a lot of times when his mom had to make a delivery, she'd have him right alongside of her. He's up there now trying to deliver. Prado at second, Infante at first. 1 out. 4-0 Dodgers, top of the 3rd. Kershaw's pitch swung on and missed. 2-2 the count with 1 out. Dodgers scoring 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Braves trying to come back here in the 3rd. Had a leadoff single by Prado and a walk to Infante, but Hayward struck out, and here's Gloss. 2-2. Out of a stretch goes Clayton Kershaw. And his 2-2 pitch coming up. Fastball in there. Strike 3 call. And he hit 93 on the gun. So for Kershaw, 6 strikeouts. He's allowed 2 hits and a walk. So he takes care of Troy Gloss. Now he has Yunel Escobar, the shortstop, hitting .230 as Gloss quietly goes back to the dugout. You can usually tell the veteran they don't make a big mess, they just go back. So Escobar single to right field in the 2nd inning, takes a hook low at his feet. 1 ball and no strikes. Escobar and his buddy Brian Pena had a dream to wear the Atlanta uniform, and Escobar made it. Yunel poised at the plate. The 1-0 pitch is taken low. 2-0 the count. Escobar is 6'2", 200-pounder. He'll be 28 in November. After that little 25-foot boat reached the shore in Miami, He lived there, and because he was in the U.S., he then was subject to the draft, and the Braves got him. He hits one in the air down the right field line. A long way to go for Ethier, and the ball is going to drop fair. 1 run will score on a fly ball single to right field by Escobar. Prado brought the run in. With a right-hand hitter up, Escobar was shading him over in right center, and the ball just did land in front of Ethier. In fact, it landed about 6 inches inside the right field foul line. So a single for Escobar and a run batted in. Prado brings it in. Infante with 2 out got to third, and now the batter is Melky Cabrera. That first name, M-E-L-K-Y, Melky. 5'11", 170. He'll be 26. And he shies away a pitch at his feet. Ball 1. For Melky Cabrera, he first came up to the big leagues with the Yankees in 05, so Joe had him. Joe knows him. He was with the Yankees in 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, and this year with the Braves. He breaks his bat, hits a ground ball kicked by Carroll. Everybody's safe, and the run comes in. Last night, we saw Blake DeWitt break his bat, and Omar Infante broke to his left as the third baseman, deflected by the broken bat. And maybe Carroll was bothered by the same thing, although it didn't look it. The ball just bounced up and kicked off the heel of his glove. So we'll assume that will be an error for Carroll. Taking second is Escobar. Scoring is Infante. So a big error. That makes it 4-2 in favor of the Dodgers. And David Ross checking in at the plate. So a single and a walk, followed by 2 strikeouts, then a fly ball single by Escobar, and now the ground ball error to Jamie Carroll. Ross punches it on the ground to Belliard, and he throws to first for that third out. But not before the Braves get 2. And at the end of 2.5 innings, Dodgers 4, Braves 2. As we go to the bottom of the third inning, Clayton Kershaw, after an easy first inning, has made 47 pitches in the last 2 innings, part of it compounded by the error by Jamie Carroll. So he has made 57 pitches, and where he looked so sharp, you start to wonder about that trip around the bases on that long triple by Rafael Furcal. So it'll be Ramirez, Loney, and Belliard. Bottom of the third, 4-2 in favor of the Dodgers. Ramirez grounded to third in the first inning, chases one, doesn't get it, and the count 0-1. Fastball down out of the zone at 87. As we mentioned, Kawakami is not going to overpower people. He is trying to outthink them, and his control has been a little shaky, and he's given up 2 doubles and a triple of the 4 hits. The next one is swung on and missed. Changeup. 0-2 to Manny. Kenji Kawakami. Right-hander is 34 years old. He'll be 35 the end of the month, 22nd. Here's the strike 2 pitch to Manny Ramirez. He looks and it's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Interesting with Kawakami, going into this game, there was quite an amazing pattern. Here's his 1-2 pitch to Ramirez, taken for ball 2. What he was doing, he was getting the even hitters out, but not the odd ones. In other words, numbers 2, 4, and 6, he was getting them out. 1, 3, 5, and 7, they were wearing him out. 2-2 the count to Ramirez, who's the number 4 hitter, and looks, it's off the plate, ball 3. So Kawakami is certainly not at his sharpest. 3-2 the count. Peering in to get a sign. Now the 3-2 pitch to Manny. Off-speed breaking ball. He lunged at it and strikes out. Slow breaking ball, and Manny tried to hold up, couldn't do it, and down he goes.
7, James Loney.
For Kawakami, that would be his first strikeout, as he fooled Ramirez for sure. And now James Loney. Kawakami fell behind to Loney, so they opted to walk him intentionally. And then Belliard promptly doubled in Matt Kemp. Kawakami ready. And the first pitch to Loney is off the plate. He's been consistently behind to the hitters, and that is a very tough way to pitch. Now the next pitch to Loney, that's low. And he's a hole again. 2 balls and no strikes. Hiroki Kuroda could certainly empathize with him. Hiroki, who breezed throwing strikes, is suddenly having trouble doing that. Loney fouls a pitch away, 2-1. And Kuroda last night, who averages about 2 walks per 9 innings, and Hiroki walked 4 in 6 innings last night and struggled the last time before against Colorado. 2-1 the count to Loney. 4-2 Dodgers. We're in the third. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way. James takes low. Ball 3. 3-1. So again, right on the edge of a walk. 3-1 pitch coming up. Kawakami deals, and that's going to go foul down the left field line, peeling towards the stands, and well back out of play. So back-to-back hitters, he goes 3-2. Now when he went 3-2 to Ronnie Belliard, who was on deck, Belliard was looking for the fastball, I'm sure, and drilled it into the gap in left center. So we'll see if Loney gets a fastball 3-2. Kawakami double checks, I think, the outfield, especially Cabrera in left. Now he's ready. And the 3-2 pitch to James Loney is a shot back to the mound, smothered by Kawakami, who throws him out. Remember, we told you earlier he had 3 gold gloves in Japan, but he might have been hurt. But now he nods, he's okay. He's not quite ready to pitch, however, but he did make a gold glove play on a ball that I believe hit him on the left leg, as it partly got him on the glove, but mostly on the left leg. The timeout, they'll check him out, and that hurt up here. So Loney is out, 1-3. making sure nothing broken. Kawakami, no doubt, would be allowed to make a practice toss to make sure he's okay. David Ross is going to go behind the plate. Bobby Cox standing out there with plate umpire Jerry Davis. Kawakami's not quite ready to pitch yet, but he keeps nodding to the trainer that he's okay. And Jerry Davis is saying, go ahead. Take your pitch or two. And they'll give him one more, I believe. Very high as he bounces in his follow through, but again he nods saying, I'm okay. All right. So he made a good play on that hard comebacker from James Loney. And now Ronnie Belliard. So Kawakami went 3-2 on Ramirez, struck him out. 3-2 on Loney and got him on the shot back to the box. Went 3-2 to Belliard, who doubled in the first inning. Belliard hitting .279 with a home run and 11 runs batted in, and takes high, ball one. Belliard is a good hitter when he is playing. Struggles coming off the bench a bit. He has 4 hits as a pinch hitter. The 1-0 pitch on the way to the veteran. Right-hand batter takes a strike, and the count 1-1. 2 down, bases empty in the third. Dodgers lead the Braves 4-2. The 1-1 pitch poked foul upstairs off to the right. That's fastball alley, and the count 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Ronnie Belliard. Foul back to the screen. So the Dodgers scored 2 in the first inning. Seven men went to the plate. They came back with 2 more in the second inning to lead 4-0. But the Braves came back with 7 hitters in the third inning to score twice and tighten it up. 1-2 the count to Ronnie Belliard. The next pitch in there, strike 3 called. That'll do it in the third. It's 4-2 Dodgers. Third innings, but he's leading by 2. He has made 57 pitches. He'll be facing Nate McClough, then Kawakami, the pitcher, and Prado, the leadoff man. Among other things, in his 3 innings, Clayton Kershaw has struck out 6. But as you know as well as I do, to strike somebody out takes a lot of pitches. So we'll see with his 2 walks and the 6 strikeouts how he makes out in the 4th. Foul back by Nate McLeod. 0-1 the count. McLeod, the center fielder, popped a short in the 2nd inning. In case you missed it, San Diego lost. Philadelphia beat them. So the Dodger victory could cut the lead to a half a game. But the Dodgers have to beat a very tough club, the Atlanta Braves. Braves have won 9 straight. 10 years ago, they had a stretch where they won 15 in a row. Better than the 9 straight, they've been even more consistent, winning 14 out of 16. 1-2. So John Wooden has left us, but I think we could quote members of his family saying he and Mom are united again. The beloved Nell. Fly ball to center. Kemp has a play. 1 away. Now the pitcher, Kenji Kawakami, coming up. Struck out in the 2nd inning. One ball and no strikes. 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Braves. Fastball missed. 2-0 to Kawakami. And 3-0 to Kawakami. Kershaw struck out the side in the 1st inning, struck out Kawakami in the 2nd, and nailed Hayward and Gloss in the 3rd. 3 balls and no strikes, and he has walked Kawakami. Joe Torre sitting back watching his 22-year-old.
Second baseman, number 14.
He's now walked 3.
Martin Prado.
Martin Prado struck out, singled, scored 1 of the 2 runs in the 3rd inning. And ball 1. Kershaw came in with a record of 5-3. No record against the Braves. They only had 1 game against him last year. He was brilliant. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, no runs, and was not involved. Braves won that game in 10 innings, 2-1. Martin Prado hitting .325, 4 home runs, 27 runs batted in. And lines it to right. Ethier just about in his tracks. 2 down in the 4th. Kawakami holding at first. Prado's a tough out, I should say. And Omar Infante coming up. Infante flied to right, walked, made a very good tag on that slide by Jamie Carroll in the 2nd inning. Carroll, remember, started to go to the bag with his left hand and then pulled it back. But Infante stayed on him anyway and got him. That saved a run. Strike. Tomorrow night, Tom Hanson 5-3, Chad Billingsley 6-2. Game 3 of the 4-game series. High bounce it for call, has to back up for the hop and then gets the 4th play. Kawakami on that bad wheel Wasn't really running, barely jogging towards second. No runs, no hits, and then left. The end of 3.5, 4-2 Dodgers. Brought to you by CarMax. Now, more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. By Toyota. Get a great deal on Toyota's full line of hybrid and fuel-efficient vehicles at your Toyota dealers today. And by Corona. Bottom of the fourth inning, 4-2 in favor of the Dodgers. It'll be Russell Martin, followed by Jamie Carroll, and then Clayton Kershaw against right-hander Kenshin Kawakami. For Clayton Kershaw, he cut his pitches in half from the third and the fourth. He made 26 pitches in the third inning, and then only 13 pitches in the fourth, so he could use the break. That means he has now made 70 pitches in his 4 innings. Kawakami showing no ill effects of that comebacker hit by Loney that got him on the leg. Martin flied to left field in the first inning. So Martin is 0 for 1, 0 for 5 in the 2 games, and continues to labor for whatever reason at home. And drives this one to the gap in left center field, and that's going to go to the wall, bouncing over for a ground rule double. And the Dodgers are really jumping on Kenshin Kawakami's fastball. Every time he tries to come with the express, the hitters lay into it. So the Dodgers had a double from Belliard, a double from Carroll, a double from Martin, and a triple from Furcal. So 4 of the 5 hits have been for extra bases. And now Jamie Carroll, followed by Kershaw and Furcal. Jamie doubled, but was erased at third on Kershaw's bunt. Jamie 1 for 1. Troy Glaus was coming in to play up inside the bag, and David Ross pointed, no, go back. That's a strike, 0-1. Carroll takes a look at Larry Boa. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Braves, and we're in the bottom of the 4th. A little high, 1-1. Kawakami had made 56 pitches through 3 innings, just 1 less than Kershaw. Jamie hitting .306. Ball 2. 2-1. Carroll again looking down to Boa, as is Martin at second base. Fastball fouled away. 2-2. Braves began the night 3 games in front of Philadelphia. Philadelphia beat San Diego. Dodgers began the night a game and a half behind San Diego. So a Dodger win would mean the Padres would be in front by a half a game. Ball 3. 3-2. Bobby Cox, veteran skipper for Atlanta, was originally signed by the Dodgers before they had a draft. He was signed back in 1959. Bobby, 15 postseason from 1991 through 2005. A remarkable manager and a wonderful guy. Bobby, among other things, has had 6 100-win seasons. 6 of them. Ground ball to short, nowhere for Martin to go. Escobar nails Carroll. So 1 out, and Clayton Kershaw coming up.
22, Clayton Kershaw.
You know, we mentioned about Bobby Cox having those 15 consecutive winning seasons. Joe McCarthy, when he managed the Yankees, had 20. Sparky Anderson had 17 consecutive winning seasons. Joe Torre has had 14. High chopper foul. 0-1. Dodgers 4, Braves 2, bottom of the 4th. One other note about Bobby Cox: when he finally became a major league manager, a guy who had been originally signed by the Dodgers, wouldn't you know, as the manager, his first game was against the Dodgers. That was April 7, 1978. Dodgers wailed on him 13-4, and talking about wailing, coming over on the dead run to pick it off is Melky Cabrera. So Kershaw hit it pretty hard, but the left fielder was able to run it down. We have a trivia question for you before Call gets up. Bobby Cox, one of 4 managers with 2,000 or more wins for one major league team. Who are the others? 3. Remember, for one major league team. Bobby celebrated a birthday on the 21st of May. So Martin led off with a double. 2 outs later, he's still there. And here's Call trying to pick him up. Ball 1. Rafael walked, scored a run in the first inning, tripled to drive in a run, and scored in the second inning. So he's been busy. Rookie of the Year for the Braves 10 years ago. Wow. That's in there. 1-1. Martin looking for a ride home. Escobar right back of him. Pop foul off third. That should go out of play. And does. Kenshin Kawakami with an 0-7 record. But remember, the Braves scored only a total of 15 runs in his 7 losses. One and 2 to Call, batting .286. Two and 2. When the Braves come up in the 5th, they'll have Jason Hayward, Troy Glaus, and Yunel Escobar. Two and two. Pulled on the ground. Troy Gloss takes it to the bag, and the Dodgers waste a leadoff double by Russell Martin. And at the end of 4, Dodgers 4, Braves 2. Try Jack's new grilled breakfast sandwich on grilled artisan bread with a cup of the new Kona Classic coffee. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. Fifth inning with the Dodgers holding on to a 4-2 lead. Jason Hayward, Troy Gloss, and then Yunel Escobar, the numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Brave lineup. Hayward hitting .279, ball 1. He has 10 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Breaking ball strike. Bobby Coxon, talking about Hayward, said, "You can tell with your eyes closed when he's hitting. It's louder than anybody else hits." 1-2 the count. Tell you about Jason. Behind him was a very hard-working father. The Braves began scouting him, would you believe, when he was 11 years old. His father would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning in the family home, drive 90 minutes to work in the town of Warner Robins, put in his 8 hours, get back home and pick up Jason, then drive at least an hour across traffic-choked Atlanta to take him to East Cobb Baseball Complex in Marietta. 2-2. So when it's all said and done, Dad had a lot to do with this young fella making it to the big leagues. And strike 3 called on the outside corner. So Hayward, we can't believe it, has struck out 3 times against Clayton Kershaw. And Kershaw now has 7. Jason thought the pitch, I'm sure, was low and away. See where Martin is set down there. However, Jerry Davis right there to ring him up. Oh, my gosh, says Hayward. Bobby doesn't say anything, but he might. Bobby was telling me a story. Curveball inside, ball 1. They were playing the day game, and it got dark in Atlanta. And Joe West, the umpire, came over and said to Cox, "Turn the lights on." And Bobby said, "Okay." And he had bad knees. It was painful for him. He went up the runway, called the grounds crew, said, "Hey, turn the lights on." And you know, these powerful lights take a while to heat up. And Bobby came back to the bench, and West hollered over to Cox, "It's taking too long to turn the lights on." And Bobby said, "What are you talking about?" Now the lights came on, and Joe said, "Turn them off." And Bobby said, "What?" He said, "Turn them off." So Bobby answered him with a very crisp remark and was kicked out of the game, sitting in the dugout arguing about the lights. Meanwhile, Gloss, a fly ball, and we have 2 down. Under duress, it is a great Anglo-Saxon swear word. 2 out. Of course, Bobby has been kicked out a lot. I'm not sure of the total number, but I know one thing about Joe West. Joe West has kicked out 134 players or managers or coaches. Bobby, as you can see the figure there, has bitten the dust a few times in his career. Escobar single to right, and then hit a fly ball single, dropped just fair, maybe 6 inches fair, to drive in a run in the 3rd inning. Hitting .235. Big bouncer, and Kershaw stays with it, throws him out. Clayton was not in a good follow-through position at all, and it's just as well it was a high bouncer instead of a hard shot back to the box. And it's 4-2 Dodgers. Tribute to the late John Wooden after the Dodgers post-game show. John, the Wizard of Westwood, who should be far better known as a great man, a great father, and a great grandfather, passed away at 6:45 p.m. today at Ronald Reagan UCLA Hospital. John was 99, would have been 100 in October. And anyone who knew him was blessed. Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, Manny Ramirez. Bottom of the 5th inning, 4-2 Dodgers. One and one to Matt. Kemp singled to center to send for a call to 3rd, where he could score on a fly ball by Ethier. Then he hit a fly ball to cash in for a call in the 2nd inning. 1-1. 2-1. Kawakami, who has not gotten any real run support. 15 runs in his 7 losses, and they've gotten him 2 runs so far tonight. Off speed, hit off the end of the bat to Escobar. 1 away. Remember the trivia question? Rather appropriate since the great man himself is here. That would be Bobby Cox. One of 4 managers with 2,000 or more wins for one major league team. Who are the other? Well, they are in order. The great Connie Mack, the equally great John McGraw, and our own Hall of Famer, Walter Alston. And, of course, Bobby. Bobby was born in Oklahoma, lives in Georgia, but really grew up in California. Fly ball to center, Nate McLeod, 2 down. Bobby went to Selma High School and then attended Wheatley Junior College, and his first job, picking grapes. Also, Bobby was back in 1990. He had surgery on both knees. Bad knees ended his playing career anyway. There was a time with those bad knees where he could not sit down in the dugout because if he sat down, he couldn't get back up and go out and either help his pitcher or argue. There's a base hit for Manny. So Ramirez singles to left to go 1 for 3. And the batter will be James Loney.
Batting next, number 7, first baseman James Loney.
4 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Braves. Kawakami, by the way, is due to bat 4th when the Braves come up in the 6th inning. Loney walked intentionally and hit a shot off the leg of Kawakami. And Kenshin, a Gold Glover in Japan, made a Gold Glove play and threw him out. Off speed, a little slow floating curveball for a strike. 0-1. Fouled away. 0-2 the count to Loney. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Braves, with 2 out bottom of the 5th inning. Kershaw and Kawakami. Tomorrow night, Tommy Hanson and Chad Billingsley. Sunday afternoon, Tim Hudson and John Elon. And then Tony La Russa and the St. Louis Cardinals. So another big winning manager, Tony La Russa, will be in here to match wits with Joe Torre. And after the Cardinal series, a day off. And then here come the Angels with Mike Scioscia. One and 2. And down goes Loney and the Dodgers. No runs, a hit, a man left. And at the end of 5, it remains 4-2 Dodgers. pitched a no-hitter, almost a perfect game. He struck out 12, walked 1. That was Dick Allen, who later played for the Dodgers. He walked Allen on a 3-2 pitch in the 4th inning, but Allen was thrown out trying to steal. So it wound up, Sandy faced only 27 batters, and the Dodgers beat the Phils 3-0. You're right. He was a wonder. Let's go back to this one. Meanwhile, into the 6th inning we go. Another young left-hander by the name of Clayton Kershaw working on Melky Cabrera. And ball 1. Slider hits home plate. Melky Cabrera signed when he was 20 years old. That's a strike. He started the year having played 569 Major League games and never quite performed the way a lot of people thought he would. But then again, if you look at Melky Cabrera, there were some players who came to the Major Leagues very early, played at a level like Melky, and then became the players they were supposed to be, like Dave Winfield. Remember, Winfield skipped the minor leagues and came up at 21 to play in the big leagues. But he wasn't very good for a couple of years. In fact, when he was 24, Dave Winfield had about the same year that Melky had. And that's ball 4. So he is an average player waiting to be very good. And a leadoff walk. 4 walks given up by Clayton Kershaw. Nobody out. David Ross, Nate McLouth, and then we'll see about a hitter. Right-hander Jesse Chavez warming up in the Braves bullpen. There he is. Ross 0 for 1. David grounded to Ronnie Belliard back in the 3rd inning. Pretty good numbers for David. Oh, 0-1. And he bunts up along 3rd. Kershaw can't get it, and neither can Carroll. So remember, we mentioned earlier about the fact that the Braves are number 1 in sacrificing. Their rate of success is number 1. They're number 1 in sacrifice hits. And in this case, David Ross, the big catcher, bunts for a base hit. So in a sense, these are just part of what makes the Braves tick. The walk to Cabrera, so they've now received 251 walks this year. They're number 1, and then a bunt single. Now they have to worry about Nate McLouth for sure, that he's going to drop one. Yep. Instead, they throw through. Got it. Russell Martin hangs Melky Cabrera out. All Bobby does is shake his head. Great throw by Martin. And as usual, you get nailed when you're trying to cheat and take an extra step in a bunt. So Cabrera hung out to dry. Great throw. Russell Martin to Rafael for a call. A big league play. Strike. So that takes a lot of the air out of the balloon. Brooks Conrad comes out on deck. He's a switch hitter, and he would bat for Kawakami. 1-1. Fly ball to left field. So what started out with a walk and a base hit, they're now going to call Conrad back. A huge play at second base. They'll live by the sword or live by the bunt, die by the bunt. And Martin makes a great play. And now, since the inning is almost done, Kawakami is going to come up and bat for himself, and a mortified Melky Cabrera, I'm sure, in the dugout. That would be a bad play from Santo Domingo to here. And a pop fly down the line, Belliard and Ethier. It's Ethier. Oh. Andre Ethier catches that, inches off the ground. Martin made a great throw, and the Braves are denied in the 6th inning. It's 4-2 Dodgers. One is a game of inches right there. The fly ball to right field by Escobar that scored Prado back in the 3rd inning. Also, that catch by Andre Ethier was a game of inches. So the Dodgers inch along, leading the Braves 4-2. And in the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be Belliard, Martin, and Carroll. Kawakami made 11 pitches to retire the Dodgers in the 5th inning. Kershaw made 11 pitches to retire the Braves in the top of the 6th. And now number 11, Kenshin Kawakami, goes to work. He has hung tough after allowing 2 in the 1st inning and 2 more in the 2nd. Since the 2nd inning, the Dodgers have a double by Martin. They wasted that, leading off the 4th inning, and a 2-out single by Manny Ramirez. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw talking to pitching coach Rick Honeycutt. And here we go in the bottom of the 6th. Ball 1. Fastball hit to the hole. Escobar, good arm. 1 away. Russell Martin flied to left and doubled, but his biggest contribution certainly was in the top of this 6th inning when he hung Melky Cabrera out to dry with McLeod up there around to bunt. Boy, you never saw an inning change much quicker than that. Melky, I'm sure, still thinking about it out there. That's going to go down the right field line, foul. 0-1 to Russell. When the Braves come up in the 7th inning, it'll be the top of the order. That means Martin Prado, Omar Infante, And then the young right fielder who was thrown up in a hurry, Jason Hayward, who was struck out all 3 times against Clayton Kershaw. Oh, what a great pitch. 70-mile-an-hour curveball, and Martin kind of swung in sections trying to stay with it. 0-2. Russ hitting .246. Fastball on the hands, popped up. Escobar. For the Dodgers, they scored their runs 2 in the first inning after Furcal walked. Kemp singled into third, and Rafael tagged and scored on Etier's fly ball. Belliard had a ground rule double, and that cashed in Kemp. Then in the second inning, Rafael Furcal tripled in Kershaw, and Matt Kemp's fly ball cashed in Furcal. They are the Hyundai keys to the game, and it's 4-2 Dodgers, 2 out, 6th inning. And here's Jamie Carroll. Ball 1. Furcal and Belliard, they've been busy. 1-1 the count to Jamie. He doubled, nailed at third when Kershaw tried to move him over with a bunt. Last time up, Carroll grounded to short. 2-1 the count. Slow curveball. 3-1. That slow curve is so slow, it works as a changeup. In there. 3-1 fastball. So for the umpteenth time tonight, he goes 3-2. Fastball, and the Dodgers have whacked that 3-2 fastball. Carroll will hold on with a single. Infante just missed spearing it. So a 2-out single brings up Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw.
Boy, every 3-2 fastball has really been spanked, and that one off the glove. So Carroll 2 for 3. Omar Infante thinking of the big one that got away. And now here's Clayton Kershaw, bunted into a force play and flied to left. 0-1. Four-2 Dodgers, bottom of the 6th inning. Off the plate, 1-1. Reminder tomorrow night, Tommy Hanson 5-3 against Chad Billingsley 6-2. Sunday afternoon, Tim Hudson 6-1, and that's stroked into left field. That's that slow curveball, and the hitter seems to have time to adjust to it, and so Kershaw whacks it into left field.
Dodgers shortstop
Carroll
number
got the
15,
3-2
Rafael
fastball
Furcal.
and lined a single. Now the breaking ball is slapped to left. The Dodgers have something going from the bottom of the lineup. Furcal has walked, tripled, grounded out, scored 2, knocked in 1. Kawakami has allowed 8 hits and the 4 runs. Fastball, and he missed. Escobar riding herd on Jamie Carroll. That's popped up. A gathering, and it will be the second baseman, Martin Prado. And that's it. And at the end of 6, 4-2 Dodgers. Brought to you by 76 Gasoline. We're on the driver's side. By the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. Southern California has a water shortage, and we all need to cut our use. Go to BeWaterwise.com to find out more. And by Jack Daniels. The lights are on all over Los Angeles, but a lot of lights have gone out with the loss of John Wooden, who was just saluted moments ago. And we move on now to the 7th inning because we know that's how John would want it. And a reminder, there'll be a tribute to the great John Wooden after the Dodgers post-game show following the game. Martin Prado, Omar Infante, and then Jason Hayward. And a strike to Prado, who struck out, single to center, scored a run, and flied to right. 0-1. And that's hit to right field. Ethier angles over. One down. For the Dodgers, they are certainly keeping an eye on Clayton Kershaw. So in the bullpen, they get Ramon Troncoso and Hung-Chi Kuo to throw back of him. He has one out in the 7th inning. His last 2 games, he went 5 innings and 6 innings. A strike to Omar Infante, who flied to right, walked, scored, hit into a force play. Hitting .296. Pulled on the ground by the diving Carroll, who was drawn in, thinking perhaps bunt. And Infante singles. So now with a man at first, and Jason Hayward coming up, followed by the right-hand hitting Gloss. Hayward has struck out all 3 times. He was 0 for 3 last night, walked and hit by a pitch. Hitting .277. They check no swing. 1 ball and no strikes. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Braves. Breaking ball strike. 1-1. Hayward, when he struck out in the first inning, the pitch got away from Martin for a pass ball, and Jason reached. Infante, having already seen Melky Cabrera picked off in the 6th inning, has to be a little careful over there. Infante has stolen 2 and been caught once. That's up. Ball 2, 2-1. Hayward at 6-4. Foul back. In Orlando, where the Braves hold spring training, Hayward smashed home runs, they say, where no one had ever hit them before. Into an employee parking lot, about 450. He broke the side mirror of a media relations director's car, caused $3,400 to the sunroof of the assistant general manager's car. 2-2 the count. At 20 years, 239 days, Hayward became the 3rd youngest player in Major League history to hit a home run in his first at-bat, and the youngest in 60 years. 2-2. And he strikes out a 4th time as Clayton Kershaw sends him to school. 2 out. And the batter will be Troy Gloss, representing a potential tying run, especially when you saw him in the 4th inning last night, hit one deep into the left field stand. and now hold everything as Joe Torre
Outfielder number 20.
will have a little huddle about what they're going to do with Troy Gloss. He's got Troncoso and Quo. He wants to make sure that Kershaw has something left, and apparently Clayton's saying he's okay. A lot of times the managers will go out and the pitcher will say, I want this guy. I really want this guy. It looked like Torre went out and said, do you have enough? And Kershaw tried to assure him that he does. Well, he has struck out Gloss twice, and Troy homered in the 5th inning. He has 10 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Strike, 0-1. The player of the month in May. And fouled away, 0-2. Like every UCLA former player, whatever sport, I'm sure in his own way, Troy will mourn the loss of John Wooden. And 2. Ball 1. Troy at 6-5. Two balls and 2 strikes. Dodgers have Kemp, Ethier, and Ramirez in the bottom of the 7th. The hitters have been fouling off a lot of pitches compared to early. For instance, in the first 2 2/3 innings, there were 12 swings and misses. In the last 3 2/3 innings, there's only been 1 clean swing and a miss. Part of it, I'm sure, fatigue. He lost a little after making 108 pitches. 3-2 to Troy Gloss. Fastball, foul back. Waiting on deck, Yunel Escobar. Kershaw's pitch count this year, the high has been 117. He's done that twice. Breaking ball is up. Ball 4. So Joe has figured, okay, I let him pitch. He struck out Hayward, but he walked Gloss, and it's time to go and get him. So you have the right hand hitting Escobar, the shortstop, and you have Troncoso and Quo in the pen. Troncoso stopped throwing. Quo was loosening up. For Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw and his 8 strikeouts. Started out with the breaking ball, and he was putting hitters away with that. And then he went with the strength. One fastball, another fastball, and yet another fastball, and another fastball, and a high fastball, and ocho. So for Kershaw, 110 pitches, went 6 2/3. And comes out in the 7th inning. Tough spot to come out, though, because the 2 runners on the bases are his responsibility. But Joe brings in the hard-throwing Quo to face Yunel Escobar. Escobar 2 singles, hit back to the box. And Quo about ready. Escobar has never batted against Quo. By the way, you wonder about the move bringing him in. Well, let's put it this way. Right-hand batters are hitting 167 against Quo. Bobby knows all about left-hand batters against Hung-Chi Quo. Left-handers are 0 for 17. Quo, 13 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings, trying to put Escobar away. Infante at second, Gloss at first. 1-1. Four runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. They did all the damage, 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings. Braves scored 2 in the 3rd, and that's it. But now, with Infante and Gloss, a little bit of a rally, 1-1 the count. Fastball strike. Dodgers spurred on by the knowledge Philadelphia defeated San Diego 3-2. A Dodger victory tonight would put them a half a game behind the Padres. 1-2. 2-2. The normal plan is to see Quo, then Belisario and Broxton. Belisario has worked each of the last 2 games. Quo did not work in the 14-inning game, nor last night. And ball 3, so the potential tying runs will be in motion. And waiting on deck, Melky Cabrera, who was picked off in the 6th inning to wreck the inning. So Infante and Gloss ready to go. Big pitch for Quo. Runners go. Fastball is hitting to left center. Base hit, and it's going to go through. So not only will Infante score, Gloss will score, and the game is tied 4-4. So 110 pitches and 8 strikeouts later, all of Kershaw's work goes down the drain as Escobar doubles in the gap to tie it up. It's his 3rd hit of the night. He has 3 runs batted in. So now you have Melky Cabrera with a chance to put the Braves out in front. Melky is hit into a force play, reached on an error, and walked. Ball 1. For Yunel Escobar, a clutch double. He has 15 runs batted in now to tie it up. 4-4 in the 7th. And the fastball missed. On deck, David Ross. So under the heading of the best laid plans of mice and men, you write the name Hung-Chi Quo alongside of Joe Torre. For Clayton Kershaw, it was not for him to make the decision. 2-0. Breaking ball strike, little slider. So with 1 out, Infante singled with 2 out, Glass walk. That was all. Kershaw out, Quo in, and Escobar a 3-2 double to even up the game. Fastball pulled to third. Carroll. That's out. But that means 2, and at the end of 6.5 innings, we have a 4-4 tie, and the crowd now will be asked to join in the singing of God Bless America and Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please
He's going in, and we kept anticipating it all throughout the Arizona series. So last night it was the Braves 4-3. Tonight it is a tied up game thanks to Yunel Escobar, who doubled in the tying run. For Hung Chi Kuo, a rare moment where he gives up a clutch hit and a couple of runs. So now the Dodgers trying to untie the game. And Kawakami is still in there. It'll be Kemp, Ethier, Ramirez, and if anybody gets on, Loney. Kemp 1 for 2 with a scoring fly ball. Matt batting .279, 11 home runs, 32 runs batted in. 0-2. Off-speed pitch, Matt out in front. So Kawakami had made 97 pitches through 6. And it's interesting that he's still in there. because if Cabrera had not been picked off second base, he'd been out of here. That's a strike. So Matt Kemp, a slider, puts him on the shelf. One away in the 7th inning.
Number 16, Andre Ethier.
Just a little dip to it. Tight slider. So 1 out. And Andre Ethier coming up. Four strikeouts for Kawakami, who has now made 100 pitches. Andre Ethier had a scoring fly ball, grounded out, and flied to center. 4-1. In looking at the pitch count for Kawakami, his high, first week in May in Philadelphia, he made 111 pitches and lost the game 5-3. 2-0. His last game, he made 93 pitches. 2-0. Ethier batting .359. 11 home runs, 39 runs batted in. And the count 3-0 with Manny Ramirez on deck. Down in the bullpen for the Braves, they have the left-hander Eric O'Flaherty warming up. 3-0. Ethier fouling it off. Joe going for broke there. Three and one, the count to Ethier. Bottom of the 7th, 4-4. Off speed, pulled, foul ball. 3-2. Tommy Hanson and Chad Billingsley tomorrow night. Tim Hudson and John Eli Sunday afternoon. Weatherman says we're going to have some beautiful weather for the weekend, so we certainly hope you'll be out here with us. And then starting Monday night, the Cardinals. And whack down the right field line. Fair ball. Andre will have to stop at second. A ground rule double. And boy, he was all over that pitch. So a 1-out double to right by Andre Ethier. Coiled like a spring, big stride, and then that sweet swing. With the left hand coming off to ensure the follow through. So that ball landed almost the same area that Escobar's single landed to drive in a run with Ethier chasing it. And now with Manny coming up, they will put him aboard and take their chances, either Loney versus Kawakami, or remember, O'Flaherty is down in the bullpen. Peter Moylan is also up. So in a minute, Bobby will make his decision, but he's already made one of them. Don't let Manny hit. So 2 on, 1 out. And now here comes Bobby, having both knees replaced back in 1990. And there's no reason for him, but look at his shoes. I mean, he is the old-timer from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. He is a major leaguer, and he wears his spikes as he walks out to the mound. He's a marvel. We'll be back. in his seat in the Braves dugout. He went 6 1/3 and made 110 pitches, and he gives the ball to Eric O'Flaherty. O'Flaherty, a fastball, slider, cutter, and change out of Walla Walla, Washington. He was originally signed by the Mariners and went 6-0 in his first year. Interestingly enough, 6-0, all in relief coming out of the pen. He appeared very briefly last night. He was brought in to pitch to Ethier and struck him out. So 2 on, 1 out, 4-4, 7th inning. Fastball hit up the middle, base hit. Here comes Ethier to score, and the Dodgers lead 5-4, and so much for strategy. Dodgers bring in Crow, and Escobar doubles in 2. Bobby Cox brings in O'Flaherty, and Loney singles to drive in a go-ahead run. And Ronnie Belliard coming up. That run, of course, is charged to Kawakami. So with 1 out, 5 runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers, 4 runs, 6 hits for the Braves. The run charged to Kawakami. And, of course, Manny Ramirez is going to come out for a runner, Reed Johnson. And then Reed will stay in to play left field.
Attention, please. Attention for the Dodgers, number 5, Reed Johnson.
So Reed Johnson at second. James Loney at first. Loney goes 1 for 3. Of course, remember, it was also Loney that hit that smash of Kawakami's leg. Ball 1. O'Flaherty is 6'2", 195, 25 years old. Still lives in Walla Walla. Was going to go to Oregon State, but the Mariners signed him instead. 2-0 to count. When O'Flaherty won the 6 in a row for Seattle. No one else had ever done that in Mariner history. And they had some wonderful pitchers up there. Right. Mark Langston, Randy Johnson, Freddie Garcia, Jamie Moyer, Kazuhiro Sasaki. They all had great starts, but none of them began 6-0. And they left the Mariners to come to the Braves last year. Ground ball to short. Escobar to Prado. They turn it to first, and that's the inning. But not before the Dodgers get the go-ahead run, thanks to the base hit by James Loney. And at the end of 7, 5-4 Dodgers. You know, history's ice road truckers are back. In favor of the Dodgers. 20 years ago, Ramon Martinez tied Sandy Koufax's Dodger record, struck out 18 in a 9-inning game, shutting out the Atlanta Braves 6-0. For Ramon, another brilliant moment in a great career. Now Reed Johnson takes over in left field for Manny Ramirez. Hung Chi Kuo getting ready to pitch to David Ross, Nate McLeod, and then we will see about O'Flaherty. So the relief pitchers, Kuo gave up a double for 2 runs. O'Flaherty gave up a single for 1 run, and the Dodgers lead 5-4 in the 8th. Ross walked, grounded out, and singled. 0-1. Remember the bunt single he laid down in the 6th inning. David hitting .292. 11 runs batted in. Ross 6'2", about 235. Oh, 2. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Big John pinwheeling that arm around like an airplane, almost ready to take off. 0-2. Fastball, foul back. By the way, a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Oh, 2. Fouled away. When David Ross was a little guy, he thought of watermelons as far as baseball because his dad played on a softball team in the watermelon tournament in Monticello, Florida. And for every home run a team hit, they were given a watermelon. Well, he doesn't have any watermelons this year. No home runs. 11 runs batted in. Ball 1 to David. He said his dad's team was very good, so they were eating watermelon all day, and we'd go home usually with 4 or 5. 1-2. Got him. Fastball. Down he goes. No watermelons. Maybe a lemon, huh?
Center fielder number 24, Nate McLeod.
And Nate McLeod will be coming up. Hung Chi Kuo and McLeod. Nate is 0 for 3. Popped up, flied out, was around to bunt, took ball 1, and that's when Martin made that great throw to nail Cabrera. Loney feeding Kuo coming over. 2 down. Brooks Conrad is out on deck. He came out on deck once before and then came back. So Brooks coming up.
Brooks Conrad.
Conrad is from San Diego and lives in Spring Valley. He was a number 8 pick by the Astros out of Arizona State. Conrad idolized players like George Brett, Craig Biggio, and wound up with the Astros, but never made it to the big leagues with Houston. Came up with the A's 2 years ago, and then the Braves last year. About 4 years ago, 06, playing at Round Rock, he had 40 doubles, 15 triples, and 24 home runs. He was Mr. Extra Base Hit in all of minor league baseball. 0-2. Bobby Cox refers to him as true grit. And he strokes a fly ball. Here comes Reed Johnson to pick it off. The Quo sets him down in order. And at the end of 7.5, 5-4 Dodgers. John Wooden passed away at the age of 99 at 6:45 p.m. this evening. We'll have a tribute to John. And, of course, he was a wise man, and he was certainly a philosopher as well. And he had the famous Pyramid of Success. And each one the step to the ultimate top. And right up near the top, competitive greatness. And that would be John. Ball one to Russell Martin. Fly to left, double, popped up, 1-4-3. Fouled away. By the way, in talking about John, Wooden's teams won 10 NCAA championships over a 12-year span from 1964 through 75. Jesse Chavez gets a strike, 1-2. Jesse's from Victorville, lives in Riverside, went to Riverside Community College, was drafted by the Cubs. He went to A.B. Miller High School in Fontana, but instead of turning pro, he went to Riverside Community College. The Rangers finally signed him in 2002. Jesse is 6'2", 175. He'll be 27 the end of August. 2-2. Drafted in the 42nd round. Drafting that low gave him a lot of motivation. 2-2. Fly ball to right field deep, but Hayward has a bead on it all the way. 1 out. You know, friends, Sunday, June 13th, the Dodgers wrap up the Freeway Series with a special My Town celebration of Fernando Valenzuela. Fans who sit in Dodger Town, Fernando Valley, will receive a free number 34 T-shirt and enjoy an all-inclusive menu. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/MyTown or call 866-DODGERS. So Martin, a fly ball to right, 1 away. Jamie Carroll, 2-for-3. And on deck, Garrett Anderson. And ball 1. Dodgers leading, making room for Jonathan Broxton. Last year, Jesse shut down left-handers. They hit only 228 against him. Right-handers, however, roughed him up 299. He's basically fastball, curve, slider, and change. 1-1. 1-2. Chavez first came up to the big leagues with Pittsburgh in 1908. He had spent about 6 years in the minor leagues. 1-2. And that's flared to right, but Howard was playing up. Hayward puts that down, 2 away. And Garrett Anderson now hitting for Quo. And Jonathan Broxton will pitch the 9th. And when he comes in to pitch the 9th, he'll have to face Martin Prado, Omar Infante, and Jason Hayward. And if anybody gets on, Troy Gloss. And Hayward, of course, has had a rough night, struck out 4 times against Kershaw. So the 22-year-old roughed him up head-to-head this time, but they figured to be battling each other for a good 10 years. Ball 1. Garrett with a home run, 8 runs batted in. Won that 14-inning game with a little pop fly single in the center field despite the great effort of Chris Young to catch it. 2 out in the 8th, 5-4 Dodgers. A reminder, tomorrow night, Tommy Hanson 5-3, Chad Billingsley 6-2, and then Sunday afternoon, Tim Hudson 6-1, John Eli 3-2. Little ground ball to the hole, playing him on the grass is Prado, and that's that. So we are heading for the 9th inning. Iron Man is getting ready. Jonathan Broxton facing Prado, Infante, and Hayward. 5-4 Dodgers. And of course, the difference in the game right now is James Loney came up against the left-hander O'Flaherty and singled up the middle, and that scored Andre Ethier to break the 4-4 tie. So now they give the ball to Broxton and say hold on to it. Big John, as he takes over with a record of 3-0, an earned run average of 1. 35 strikeouts and 3 walks, 12 saves in the last 28. After they had only one opportunity to pick up one, and the pitcher of record right now would be Hong-Chi Kuo to win. Here's Prado, 1 for 4, singled in the 3rd inning and scored a run. right. Prado 0 for 2, struck out both times against Broxton in the past. And 2. The paid attendance tonight, and they have seen a good one. Paid attendance 42,459. And hope you'll be with us tomorrow night. Hanson and Billingsley. 0-2 to Martine. One and 2, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Broxton did not pitch last night. He worked 1 inning, the 9th inning of the 14-inning game. Fastball fouled away. So Martin Prado, the league's leading hitter. Wonderful player, very impressive, from Venezuela. Waiting on deck, Omar Infante, and then in the dugout, Jason Hayward, who has struck out all 4 times. Down he goes. Hard slider down and away. That's a killer pitch. Look at Martin off the plate. And Prado after it. 1 down. That's 10 Braves to bite the dust. 8 for Kershaw. Quo had 1. And now Broxton. Here's Omar Infante. Fly to right, walk, hit into a force play, single to left. One of the things about the Braves, when they score 4 runs or more in a game, they have a rather remarkable record. Fastball hit in the air, slicing foul, and out of play. 4 runs or more, the Braves' record is 28-4. And if Bobby gets 5 runs or more, his record is 23-0. But they're down 5-4 tonight. 1 out in the 9th. Infante flied to right and walked, scored a run, hit into a force play, single to left, and scored a run. Third baseman hitting .303. Fastball hit to Ethier. It's playable. Two down in the 9th, and here he comes. 20 years old and going a little older. Jason Hayward. Struck out in the 1st inning. Struck out in the 3rd inning. Struck out in the 5th inning. Struck out in the 7th inning. All of those at-bats were against Clayton Kershaw. So at least he gets to look at a right-hander. Crowd of 42,000, everybody up. And line down the line, foul. 0-1. Jonathan Broxton, like Clayton Kershaw, will be battling Jason Hayward for many years. Broxton will be 26 the 16th of June. And Hayward 20 years old. For young Jason, he has struck out 41 times while walking 33. But he's in a hole again. 0-2. So there's Broxton out there. 33 strikeouts. Added more than that, now has 36. And 3 walks. Got it. And so what a way to break in as Jason Howard strikes out 5 times. The Dodgers win 5-4 as Jonathan Broxton just blows him away. It took Broxton 11 pitches to retire the side in order. So the Dodgers, 5 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. And for the Braves, 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Dodgers now are a half a game behind San Diego since the Padres lost to Philadelphia. The Braves' lead over the Phillies has been cut to 2, and tomorrow night, Game 3 of the 4-game series, it'll be Tom Hanson 5-3, Chad Billingsley 6-2. A reminder to stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next, and then the tribute to John Wooden. Good night, everybody.